Excellent day to you all from everywhere you're listening to me from. This is Dr. Adekunle Badmus. Happy new month to everybody. It's a beautiful November. This is my birthday month, and I'm super, super excited, you know, about this month. This is the month I was brought to this world. Like I used to say, anytime we remember, I remember uh, I was on the phone with my mentor yesterday, one of my mentors yesterday, and she was telling me that, you're entering into your birthday month and it's going to be great. She was praying, and congratulations. We have two great clusterians, that are celebrating their birthday today. Two great clusterians. That is, these are people. One of them is always behind the scenes, supporting behind the scene. That is Dickness or Motunde Akindele. She's 71 years today. 71 years. If you remember, we did 70th birthday for her last year, and she's 71 today. And the other one is our own ambassador, Abosede Eko. They are both November 1. Today is their birthday. But before we dive into the security, let's talk security with Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin. So let's see the promo of the security revolution of the global clusters. Let's see the promo, please.
In a world where threats evolve faster than ever, security is not just a privilege, it's a responsibility. Your knowledge is your shield, your vigilance, the first line of defense. This Saturday, the Global Clusters presents a cinematic session of national importance. From the shadows of terrorism to the realities of local insecurity, from cybercrime to the safety of your own neighborhood. Our world is changing. Our response must be bold. Introducing Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin, retired, a leader forged in the crucible of military and intelligence command. With decades of field-tested experience, Colonel Oshin delivers actionable insights and strategies you can trust. Learn how to protect your loved ones, your assets, and your future. Don't wait for danger to find you. Stand with those who lead. Be part of the movement that secures and empowers. Join us every Saturday at 9:30 a.m. West Africa time. Arrive with questions, leave with clarity. Security starts with you. Every action you take, every precaution you make strengthens the chain of safety for all. Brought to you by the Global Clusters. Visit theglobalclusters.org. Follow us everywhere at the Global Clusters.
Security begins with you. Security begins with you. The world we all live now, most especially, where we all came from, my father's land, which is Nigeria. There has been so many, discussion about the security, about safety of people. There have been so many discussion as regarding security, and it's a no-brainer. I want to welcome Clusterian Ferex on TikTok. You're welcome. Let's share the link with everybody. Let's share the link with all the great Clusterians. And tonight, apart from the accurate knowledge and information, we'll be having a family meeting. So let's reach out to the CTO to generate a link so that we can have a family meeting. It's a no-brainer. It's a real deal. We cannot talk about nation building without talking about security. I reside in the Republic of Turkey, and it has been proven that Turkey is relatively safe. Everyone knows it. And this did not come by just one person's contribution. Everyone contributes to the security of their environments. You we all contribute to the security of our environment. When you see something, you say something, and you make sure that everything in your environment is safe. So security is not something that everyone shouldn't be part of. You cannot say it is none of your business. You can never say security is not your business. Security is everyone's business. And this security is very, very deep. It's not, today we'll be looking at security in several aspects of life. You know, you know, um, in business we need security. In in uh, in uh, in family needs security. In finance we need security. In career we need security. Everybody is looking for security everywhere. You understand? It's not that we 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 cannot do without being secure. The grand entrance of the OU genuine love revolution. You see, I am 100% sure. You're welcome, sir. I am 100% sure that if we meet daily and we talk about different aspects of the problem we faced, if we talk about the different aspects of problem that we are all faced with, I can tell you that we can build a formidable and a better society. We can build a formidable and a better society if we all. It's not joke. The security, the insecurity that we're all seeing that is happening to us, that is happening in our father's land, it's something that all of us needs to come together. One person cannot secure Nigeria. One person cannot secure Africa. One person cannot secure your state. Every one of us needs to come together to discuss the security issue, to tackle it from where it's coming from. We need to gather together. We need to unite together. The antidote to the insecurity that we are faced with today is for us to come together and talk about it and take commensurate actions as to how we want to secure our father's land. How do we intend to secure our father's land? So every one of us needs to take security serious. Security is not something that we would say, oh, let us leave it on the chief of defense. Let's leave it for the DSS. Let's leave it for the SSS. Let's leave it for the IGP. Let's leave it for this person. No, they are not in that your neighborhood. Every neighborhood should come together and discuss the issue of security and take action. And that is why we have created about this security revolution of the global cluster. That is why retired Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin, great shout out to him. He is not available today, but he might join us while we're going on this book. He has been advocating every Saturday, and he's been saying that I'm ready to come to Nigeria to give my support. He is ready, and I've always been advocating that let maybe a security company, someone, if give him a soft landing that he needs. He retired from the British Army. He has retired from the British Army and is ready to contribute his own quarter to his father's land. He was a born British Nigerian, you know, born, didn't even leave the Britain until he was 17. Now he's almost 60 years old and he has retired from the British Army. And he said, okay, all of the talent, everything that I see, that I know, I want to bring it back to my father's land and to contribute my own quarter. Security is not a spectator, it's everybody's business. Every one of us needs to do things. Largely, what has caused our insecurity, if you check it very well, it's actually, poverty. Poverty has contributed immensely to insecurity in Nigeria and in Africa. People looking for ways to survive. So therefore, they feel that, okay, maybe the people that are smart, or the people that have the money, let's see how we can get from them. That is what leads to kidnapping. That is what leads to armed robbery. That is what has linked to so many things that has created insecurity in our father's land. You now see that somebody will say that they now start giving it name, one chance. You enter a vehicle, people took advantage of you, take your ATM, take all your monies and everything. Understand? All of these things are not giving us the right value. And what I will say this to everyone listening to me right now. What can make us, what can we do to actually, be safe from this insecurity? Um, Everything starts from the mind. You hardly see someone that has quality mindset that that will not find something doing. We have listened to so many people. Plus, then Sabran was talking about his results when it comes to medical and all of that. But today he's not doing the medical; he's doing something else, and that is quick adaptability. Looking at, okay, if I cannot really do it here, I can do it there. If you're smart, you're smart. If you're smart, you're smart. One thing about smart people is that they sometimes they find it difficult to choose a particular area that they want to use to actually showcase themselves. But one thing is that everybody is born blank. Everything we have today is as a result of us submitting ourselves to the right knowledge, the right environment, and that is what has made us who we are today. So if that has made us who we are, we should all understand the fact that this 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 opportunity that is with us now it's actually a great one. We all have something to offer when it comes to security, and that is why we have created the global clusters. If we start, you know, supporting ourselves, if we start, you know, connecting ourselves to the right knowledge and right information, we discover that those that are vulnerable, they will not be vulnerable again. And once we reduce vulnerability, then our security will be tightened. These are the things, developed nation has put in place. You understand? Developed nation have put in place. Um, a lot of times when I see what is happening in our country, it's just a little tweak. It's a little tweak. There is no, it's not hard to get us to where we want to get to. It's not actually hard. We can all get there. We can all get there. It all depends on what the steps we take. If we take the right steps, we will get there. Security revolution is not expected to occur. The insecurity we all see today in our father's land can be surmounted, but we all need to come together. We all need to do the right thing. And what is this right thing? Let's first of all talk about it. These are the areas where we have the loopholes. Okay, who are the cause of insecurity? Largely, they are the vulnerables. Those that are vulnerable, they are the one causing insecurity in our society. The vulnerables are the one causing insecurity in our environment. They are the one causing insecurity in our environment. The vulnerables, they are the one causing insecurity. If you are not vulnerable, it's the chances of that person causing insecurity is very, very slim. It's very, 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 very slim. So it is those that are actually vulnerable that causes insecurity. My darling part, you're welcome. You know, they are the one that causes insecurity in our society. So security revolution is not a spectator call. It's something that every one of us needs to be part of. Every one of us needs to join the revolution. When we talk about security, it's not something that you say it's none of my business. After all, I'm living in abroad. I'm abroad. What about your people back home? If you did not contribute your own quota, when you empower someone in your kindred, you are reducing insecurity in that your kindred. And when you empower them, yes, same to you. When you empower them, what you are doing is that you are reducing insecurity. Insecurity can be reduced to nothing if only we are all ready to get behind each other. Okay, okay, go with God. So insecurity can be reduced to nothing if we are all ready to reduce it to nothing. Let's start from our kindred. We all came from a place. People are saying they are hungry. And I've always said, let us all engage in agric. Agric, these days, the way I'm understanding agric is giving me a lot of happiness and joy that, you cannot even understand the kind of joy uh, my understanding about agric is giving to me. I see agriculture as a blessing from the owner of the universe to humanity. I see it as a sustainer. I see it as something that, okay, I know the challenge with people. I was talking to one of our cluster in the UK yesterday, and he said, "Oh, I have access to farmland, but I'm in the UK and I'm seeing my 40s, and I actually want to retire when I get to 50 and all of that." And he said, if I have a system, and that is the system Project ARE has put in place, creating a system whereby, when they were harvesting 2 days ago, they harvested a widow, you know, I think it's called pumpkin leaf or something. So I can tell you, you need to see the happiness in the face of those that are harvesting this thing. And immediately, the off-taker pick everything. They say, if you have more, we are ready to pick more. And I was like, wow, that is money. We have over 400 acres, so which means we can do more. Now, security, you know, goes a long way to tell you that which you have to do, that empowerment you need to do. Empowerment is not giving somebody money, some naira or some pounds or some dollars. Empowerment is giving someone the right intellectual property that it needs to monetize constantly by itself. And when people are no longer vulnerable, when they have their mind correct, when they have what they are doing, I can tell you, we will surmount the insecurity we all faced with, the insecurity that is gazing at us all of the time. An average Nigerian now, once it's evening, they'll say, don't travel. Why? Yeah, abroad, we can travel anytime. We travel anytime. Ask anybody that is abroad. They will travel anytime. There is no case of one push somewhere. Some people stood there and they are doing this. If they hear that, those people that went to constitute that gathering, they will regret their life that they ever tried to do that. Because here they don't joke. We don't joke here. If it's like you have a room and rat is disturbing you, you understand? You take it, you get rat poison, you get everything. As a matter of fact, if they see that they cannot kill you very well, they will even get it. They have allies, And now that we are in the new normal and there are new technology, we're in the innovative stage, creative stage, they can even send drones. They will send drones there. It's not human being, they will send robots to go and fight the battle. So insecurity can be surmounted, and I want people to give their own opinion as to what is the cost of insecurity in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are going to narrow it down home, because if we have built the first nation building social media platform, I believe we should repair our house first before we start repairing other people's house. Before we start talking about other nations, let's talk about our nation, about how we can put it together security-wise. So what do you think is causing the insecurity, and how can we actually put end to it? How can we eradicate it first, then later on put ends to it? So I have the honor to call on the 002 Genuine Love Revolution in the person of President Cyprian Nwankwo. What's your take on this?
Good evening. Sorry. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ambassador, Global President, Ambassador Dr. Adekunle Badmus.
Yes.
Yeah. You have said well, you've spoken well. Security, like you said, it's all encompassing. If let me say, the more you know, the more you realize that this world, almost everything is as in connected. Almost everything. You may not know. You may think, let's say, I am going to school, I want to be educated. You think education is separate from spirituality. You think spirituality is separate from what else? From marriage. There are so many aspects of life you can think, in as much as they are being handled or talked about separately in isolation. You may think they are standing on their own. But the truth is that the more you know, the more you realize that everything is interconnected. Back to what you are talking about. Home is a unit of every nation. Home is a unit of the world. Every single person, if you talk about the world, you say, let everybody in the world come out. You're going to realize that you're going to see human beings. At the end of the day, where are those human beings coming from? Where are those human beings coming from? They come from different homes. Even if it's a broken home, it's a home. And security, as a matter of fact, can only be achieved if we have this understanding that home is the unit of everything. How? Just like the global president said, that insecurity used to spring up from, at times, unemployment, at times, vulnerability, and every other thing. If homes are built, when I talk about homes, I talk about marriages. If you have standard marriages, because the problem is that we have just a fraction of well-structured, functional homes. Just a fraction. Yes. Even where I came from, Till today, by the grace of God, I still have my parents alive. When I talk with them, in fact, when they even visit as far as we speak now, my mom is in my house. And when we interact, normally she's an old woman. She tells the stories and she watches movies. When we are back from work every day, we sit down, my wife, the kid, everybody will sit down and talk and all this. She will keep telling us stories of the past, things like maybe one thing or two from the movie. Yeah, will link us to what happened in the past. She'll be like, so time this and this happens. I keep on seeing so many lapses that they neglected, even in that home where I came from. So many lapses. So they were not even having a standard home. So we are being privileged. Like I keep on saying, I don't really think it's based on capacity. We have been privileged to follow a good path to the point where we are. I'm talking about my siblings. Because there was a time I was speaking with my dad. My dad was pointing out so many things. But we used to interact like friends or brothers. He tells me everything, and we can even argue. If you see us arguing, you think we are mates. That's how it is with us, and it didn't start today. There are so many things he would tell me that happened in the past. I'll be like, okay, fine. Yeah, this is where you made mistake. And the truth is that I can't make this kind of mistake. I'll tell him, really, I can't make this kind of mistake. This the kind of mistake you made. I'm not blaming you totally. After all, you did not go to university like me. I'm not blaming you totally. After all, you don't have the kind of exposure I have. There was no technology. There was nothing. You guys were operating on farming. And you guys, what you held at high esteem, we are different from what we are holding at high esteem now. And all those things. So at the end of the day, there was a day he was like, there are so many things he would have loved to do that he's not able to do. I told him, oh, don't worry about those ones. You are alive. There are people of your age that are dead now. So hold on tenaciously what you have and leave the rest. You should be grateful. The greatest joy in every parent is that at their old age, their kids are not disturbing them. Should be happy. We might not be rich, but we are not giving you people trouble. We're facing our families, everybody. We are all married. I'm the last born. I'm facing our families. This should be your greatest happiness. Because if you didn't train your kids, the much you know, with the little knowledge you have with your capacity, they will kill you. It happens every day. If they don't kill you physically, they will do it by implication. By the time they go to different prisons, and they will call you, because whether you care or not, your children, if your children commit any crime, you'll be there. You'll be there. So I was really encouraging him. I was telling him these are not the things we should worry about. I'm grateful. If I, as a person, not if, I'm working towards that by the grace of God, when I'm old and my kids are not causing trouble, they are making impact in the world, I'm the most fulfilled person after all. Whatever properties or whatever I feel I don't get, I may not get, they're not going with me. But the kids will be there to represent me in my absence. So that should be my greatest achievement. So that was what I was telling him. In so many homes, there's nothing like standard. Anything goes. Anything goes. Yes. And that is why, even in the first place, that I started Sensible Family. Sensible Family, I started it as far back as 2018, 2019. If you go to Facebook, search for Sensible Family, it should be around 14,000 full participants now. What was I doing there? Every week, I will have a class. Every week, every Friday, I call it Sensible Love Night. I will pick one particular social issue, discuss it. I continued to discuss it until I started having some elites joining. I started approaching them. I started giving them roles. And they also started having the classes. At times, they will take some of the topics and treat. So I went out, started bringing people to the community, telling them that we are here to reform people. Homes are not being run well. Parents are focused on making money and leaving the kids on the table. They are there having all the needs they need financially and otherwise. But what about intellectually? What about value-wise? Let me remove intellectual because maybe through academics they can get that one too. What about value-wise? And in our school system, some of them don't even teach those values again. They're just focused on academic and all those things. So all the stuff contributed to the fact that we're having a problem today. Every single criminal you know, whether is operating under the guise of religion or the guise of tribe, is coming from a family. And I'm very sure if he had the kind of orientation I had, just maybe the person would have not accepted to do the job. You go to the farm, they attack you, they do this, they do that. You're on the road, people will kidnap you. At a point, there was a program I attended to, and the question I asked them, I think that was one speaker has finished speaking, so I asked the question. I was like, how much will you pay me now, as I am now, for me to risk my life, carry gun, and come to people's house to surrender them, or maybe kidnap people on the road? How much? Because in as much as I have not made that money, you are going to pay me or you promise me. Deep within me, I believe I can make it without even doing those things you're bringing up. So how will you convince me? How? So that orientation matters, and it starts with family. If we as a people start from orienting our kids, I may not be certain if we can be very effective transforming the people that have grown to start learning the values and start being good and start being wonderful. I can't be certain in as much as I am hopeful. But I can be certain that those kids that stay coming up, those people that are going to occupy offices tomorrow, that if they are given the right upbringing, that they will do well. They might be the one. They will make life easier for us by the time we are old. Very old. We might not even be able to make any change, even to change ourselves. But looking back, we find out that the seeds we planted, the kind of knowledge inculcated in these kids, have started manifesting. As for adults, don't worry, that we are all facing out. Nobody will live here next 100 years. We are all facing out. But we are sure of something one thing, that we are living in a society better than we met it. That should be the target of everyone. I'm not saying we are going to stop. We not stop. We already started by the grace of God. And we are parenting minds. But as for grown-ups, those people that are 30, 40, 50 and down, don't worry. No matter what they are doing, the major work should be to try to fortify your kids intellectually and value-wise in such a way that they can never retreat. They can never be retrained when they go out there. In doing so, then whenever all those people that are doing all the things finish their life, they are going with their aim. Why the young ones will bring good things? And then how possible would it be when the parents that are supposed to teach these kids are not even, they themselves are not even oriented? How possible would that be? So that's where the question lies. People, not ordinarily, people see relationship talking, marriage talking as common sense. I've even come across someone said that that should be last 2 years when I started charging for sessions. Someone asked me, do people actually pay for session? That must be people with low self-esteem. I laughed. After laughing, I told the person, just come inbox a bit. Let me show you the number of people that pays for session. Contrary to what you think, you are the one that is ignorant. You know why you're ignorant? You think you have known everything. You don't care. Sadly, the person in question also has a problem. I didn't attack her. We went deeper and deeper and deeper. She opened up to me that she also has a problem. She just left a bad marriage, and she now carried the kind of pain that makes her attack anything concerning relationship. Doesn't matter who it's coming from. So what are we not saying? If we take this thing seriously, start with getting those people getting into marriage with proper orientation, proper understanding. They transferring it to their own kids. Then we can be sure that by the grace of God, as time goes on, all this will gradually go. Because there was a time it was very minimal. I'm not saying we might will take away what has been. We may not be able to eradicate it totally, but we can reduce it to the barest minimum. And when it's barest, we can actually live our life while it takes place, even without being noticed. So I believe everything starts with family. And starting with the family, you cannot give what you don't have. parents should take. I was happy yesterday. A woman paid for her daughter for premarital, the first cohort of premarital academy. The woman paid for her daughter. She from morning till late afternoon yesterday, till early afternoon yesterday. She was asking me, what will my daughter again? She's 25 years. She's done with this, she's done with that. She really wants to marry at this time. So I engaged. After that, she was impressed. She said, do you know I've been following you since 2019? I was like, how? Because I don't even see her comment. I don't even see her likes and everything that. He said, I've been following you. I've been following you. And the reason why I came is because I love your teaching. That's what she said. And she paid for her. So it gave me confidence, because if our parents start seeing importance in this, instead of pushing their daughter or sons to go and get married, regardless of if they are ready or not, prepared or not, they are already understanding, maybe by the virtue of our efforts, or maybe not. They're already understanding the importance of educating people, getting them enter marriage with right values. Because whether you know or you don't know, if you climb a woman, you're going to give birth. And who are giving birth, everybody will leave you to train that person. So it's actually what you know. So that is actually my submission. I believe we need to understand that everything is linked up together. If you get, let's say, 2-3 of them right, we cannot fail with security. Thank you very much.
Amazing. While you were talking, very great submission. The grand entrance of the 001 security revolution, the global security cluster of the global cluster, in the person of retired Sir Michael Gbenga Oshin. Today is his call, but I had to stand in for him a bit. You understand? He's my Egbon and he's my brother, and we have said we're going to take this journey together. So, and that is why we are there. We are here together to do this. I can see that people are calling me on the spark up. Please, we are in the meeting. You understand? We cannot pick calls now. So we're in a meeting. So I want to actually hand over the baton to me. We have started talking about security. We've been talking about security, and we are actually, every Saturday we come together to join this intellectual movement on security revolution of the global clusters, and we're actually talking about the cost of insecurity in our environment, and we're talking about how can we solve the cost of insecurity in our environment. That is what we have been talking about. So, retired Sir Michael Gbenga Oshin, over to you, sir. So
yeah, good morning. I am so great. This is how I know that there is love, there is support, there's partnership, there's everything going on here. Yes, I was running a little bit late. I was just trying to get all my stuff together. I was working all last night. I came in this morning. At about 5 o'clock. I quickly had a shower and started getting myself ready. And I was very, very overwhelmed to see that it was already up and running, and my boss was already anchoring for me, and I'm very, very grateful. It's fantastic to see that kind of thing. That we're as we're working together, that we can know that somebody's always ready to jump in the gap and fill it while everything else around you is jumping into place. So I'm very, very grateful, Ambassador. You are a true brother and a true friend. Good morning. I got the tail end of that submission, and it sounded very, very intense and very, very impressive. I grew up with a few sayings, and one of them was, "By their fruit we shall know them." Now, when you go out, and with me now, one of the gospels that I preach now is the gospel of the global clusters, and I preach it to everybody and anybody that will listen. You know, and as I said to His Excellency a few weeks back, and I keep saying it, we are at that stage now where if you believe, you believe. If you don't believe, that's your problem. You know, we all have a goal here. Whether you're looking at the global clusters as a business, or you're looking at the global clusters as a revolutionary nation-building organization, right? The ball is definitely in your court. You know, if you join the global clusters, and after 3 months you cannot put your fingers on something that you've gained from it, then you need to check yourself, because everybody is working tirelessly here to achieve a common goal. You know, the global clusters has opened its doors to people who want to become landowners, who want to become homeowners, who want to become business owners, who want to become entrepreneurs, who want to become technocrats. You know, the doors are open to you, right? But whilst you're doing that, you know, the door is also open to you for you to network with other people and learn new skills. Now, as His Excellency is aware, you know, I am seriously putting together my training plans for Nigeria. Everything I'm doing right now is all tailored towards Nigeria. I'm having to read up on Nigerian legislation. I'm having to read up on Nigerian laws and statutes that govern certain things, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, for me to come and teach or train security in Nigeria, I have to know the way Nigeria does its thing, you know, and to know whose toes I'm going to step on, and if I'm going to enjoy stepping on those toes. So, you know, this is the way forward, and we have to have that positive mindset. You know, we are at the stage now where we've done the launch. We are coming up to 2 years old now, and now we are at the phase of pulling people up, right? You know, Diana Ross sang a song many years ago, and the song said, "Reach out and touch somebody's hands to make this world a better place, if you can." Now, Barack Obama, when he became president of America in 2007, 2008, his slogan was "Yes, we can." With the global clusters, you know, if you believe we can, then yes, we can.
Yes.
If you don't believe we can, I tell you again, yes, we can. Right?
Yeah.
We are the global clusters. It is all about the positive mindset.
Yes, we can.
Right? It is all about the positive mindset. You know, we have our mantra, which is manga, right? And I firmly believe in that mantra. Right? I firmly believe in it. I was listening to a lot of stuff on YouTube this week, and there was a gentleman who was talking to a journalist about his time during the Biafran War. It was Brigadier General Alabi, right? And I was very impressed with a lot of the things that he was saying. A few things that he said that made me laugh. You know, it made me see the lapses and the laxes in security in Nigeria, you know, and the areas that, you know, with support, we can plug those areas, you know, and you know, I mean, this is my wing. This is my wing. This is my division. This is my remit on the global clusters, and that is security. And I'm not just in it to train security guards. I'm not in it to just train security officers. I'm not in it to just go out and show people that, yes, I was in the army for almost 15 years and I'm so good and I'm so great. What I'm trying to do is the global clusters as a whole, right? We all need to be security minded, right? You have to have a security mindset. Every time you wake up on your bed, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in UK, whether you're in the US, whether you're in the Federal Republic of Turkey, whether you're in Holland, whether you're in Cyprus, wherever you are, every time you wake up on your bed, the first thing your mind should be telling you to do is look around you. What is different? What's changed? What is out of place? Right? Now, we're talking security. Yeah, and as I said last week or the week before, you know, the way and the things that I talk about on this platform will be changing slightly. You know, we will have talks, we will have forums, we'll have everything. But for a few minutes, You know, I will be talking people through certain things that they need to be aware of in their day-to-day life, right? You wake up in the morning, look around your room, right? What's different? What's changed? What's missing? You know, is everybody in the house? If somebody is missing, right? Is there a sign as to where they've been? Have they left a message? Have they left a voice note? You know, these kind of things, you know, and, you know, people may say, yes, those things will work abroad, but they won't work in Nigeria. Believe me, they work all over the world, right? Once you have that security mindset, right, and you've trained yourself to think and talk a certain way, right? Whether you are approached by a police officer, a soldier, customs and excise, immigration, or whoever, right? When they see that you have that security mindset, it carries you a long way. I mean, I go to Nigeria. I don't live in Nigeria. When I speak, unless I tell you that I'm a Nigerian, nobody actually knows that I'm Nigerian, right? But when I go to Lagos, right from the airport, right, people back off because I don't look nervous around you. I'm a very confident person. I'm very confident in my own skin. You know, I'm a very confident person. I will approach you, yes, with respect, right? If you choose to disrespect me as an individual or as a human being, right, I will not scream and shout at you, but my responses will make you realize that I am not the sort of person that you can walk all over. Right now, as human beings, I won't say as Nigerians, as human beings, because Nigerians are human beings, even though in Nigeria, certain people choose to treat people less than human beings because they're in uniform or because they know somebody. Now, as a human being, right, you know, right, that our lives and our attitudes or our mannerisms or our ways of life is garbage in, garbage out.
But
However you treat me is how I'm going to treat you. However you relate to me is how I will relate back, right? Your uniform is not a pass for you to speak to me anyhow. Now, one of the things that I would love to include in my sessions in Nigeria, and I want a lot of Nigerians who are listening to this to take note, and that is this. Number one, when you learn, because remember, when you learn security, or when you're trained up in security, you're being trained almost the same as police officers are trained in police college, right? There's a lot of legal stuff that you need to learn. There's a lot of legal stuff you need to know. The first and foremost thing you need to know are your rights, right? Because one of the things I've found, and I'm pretty sure, Your Excellency, you're very, very aware of this, is our people love to throw that around. I know my rights. I know my rights. I know my rights. But then you ask them, okay, fine, what are your rights? Right? What are your rights? You're screaming, I know my rights. Okay, fine. What exactly are your rights? You know, when you say you know your rights, do you know your rights? Right? As a Nigerian, when you're in Nigeria, do you know your rights? Right? Now, I said to somebody recently, I said, you got police officers that run around in Nigeria. They don't like the look of you. You haven't given them what they want. So therefore, they decide to slap you. Right? Now, first question. As a police officer in uniform, do you actually have the right to slap me? Right? Do you actually have the right to slap me? The answer to that question is short and sharp and decisive. No, you don't. If as a police officer you've slapped me, do I have the right to slap you back? Under self-defense law, yes, I do. Right? Yes, I do. Right? Now, when a crime is committed, right, and I walk into the police station to report a crime, and you decide then that, you know, to make your job easier, you're going to arrest me and put me behind the counter, do I have the right to sue you? Yes, I do. Right? There's a lot of these things that Nigerians don't know, and they, you know, they claim, or they like to claim, oh yes, well, this is Nigeria. Things that, I mean, like I said to you, Your Excellency, when I came to Nigeria last year, you know, and a woman actually said that to me, you know, because I corrected her. She said, oh, well, anyway, this is Nigeria. So what you're trying to tell me, right? In your old national anthem, the first line is "Arise, O compatriots, Nigerians call, obey."
That is actually old.
Right?
It's Nigeria. We
Yes.
hate
No. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. Right? The old national anthem, right?
Mhm.
Well, it was the new one, right? It is the new national anthem, which is "Arise, O compatriots, Nigerians call, obey, to serve your fatherland with love and strength and faith." Right? Now, that was the old national anthem, which is now the present national anthem, is "Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. No tribe and tongue may differ. In brotherhood we stand." Now, if you honestly believe these words, right? If you truly believe these words, why then do you not believe in the rule of law? Right? Why then do you behave as if wearing a uniform is a pass to go out and commit crime? Right? Why then do you look down your nose at security officers? Well, at the moment, I don't blame them for looking down their noses at security officers in Nigeria, because most of them are irrelevant. They don't know what they're doing. Right? And I'm hoping, to the glory of God, that the global clusters are going to infiltrate that area. We are going to train every single security company in Nigeria.
Yes.
Right? We're going to bring them all under one banner. Right, we are going to regulate security in Nigeria. We're going to teach people how to do security the right way and become world leaders in security. And if we're not world leaders, at least we'll become leaders in Africa. Right? Because as I said to His Excellency, by the grace of God, we will be in Nigeria together in January. Right? We will do a lot of traveling. We will visit His Excellency, the former president, and we'll visit His Excellency, the current president, and we will hopefully, we'll find time to travel out and visit a certain President Ibrahim Traore to have conversations with him, because we at the global clusters want to associate with positive thinking Africans. Right? We're not. It's not just about Nigeria. We are making Africa and Nigeria great again. That's who we are. Right? Now, we want to associate and relate to positive thinking Africans. Right? We need to spread this, because listen, I've been watching a lot of programs this week, especially about America. Now, the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense in America has now reignited. Right? It has now reignited, and the white people in America now do not know what they're going to do, because now the Black Panthers agenda now is to make black people who don't realize that they are black, right, stop supporting the bigotry of racist America. Right? Now, that's not my problem. Right? America is not my problem, because I'm not an American, but I am an African. Right? And insofar as I'm an African, a proud Nigerian, British or not, right? I'm a proud African. I'm a proud Nigerian. First and foremost, one of my life's goals is going to be to ensure that security becomes a paramount talking point and doing point in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Right? Yes, we have now opened up the global clusters to Europe and to America. Good. They can come in, but they're going to be working under us. They're not coming in to take over. Right? If you want to fund us as a European, you're welcome. If you want to fund us as an American, you are welcome. Right? But for as long as I, Colonel Gbenga Michael Oshin, is the 001 governing security in the global clusters, right? If I see anything that has to do with corruption, or somebody trying to take advantage or not listening, right, that will displease me a lot. We will talk about it. We will talk, because you see, it's not about throwing people out. It's not about throwing people out. It's not about trying to show people that, yes, I can do, right? Everybody has a reason for doing things. Everybody has a reason for doing things. I need to know, because I don't think like a Nigerian, right? I do not think like a Nigerian, but maybe I need to start knowing how Nigerians think, right? There's a lot of things we've done over the years that we've been doing it because we didn't know any better, you know, but to God be the glory. If you look at the global clusters, we have people that live in the United Kingdom. A lot of people who live in the United Kingdom. We have a lot of people who live in America, right? We have a lot of people who live in Ireland. We have a lot of people who live in Europe. Now, if we combine all of our brains together, right, and start thinking, right, as one, right? If I bring my British experiences and Ferez brings his American experiences, and Mr. Wankwa brings his American, and His Excellency brings his Turkish and everything, and we bring all of our, and we make one big brain, right? That has different compartments, that has different ways of thinking, right? But then we turn it all into one, right? And share it with people to make Africa and Nigeria great again. It is so simple.
Yes.
Right? One of the things that we need to eradicate is, like, you see, when one of the problems we've had over the years, and it's a massive problem we've had over the years, especially in Nigeria, and it is what we are associated with, and that is corruption. Right? Everybody wants to get rich quick. Everybody wants to be seen as that rich person. Everybody, you know, nobody is looking at the fact that I am my brother's keeper. Right? Now, in the world of security, you're only as good as your weakest link. Right? If you got a team of 12, right, and everybody is fantastic, they said to run 100 meters, and the man at the front can run 100 meters in 7 seconds, but the man at the back could not do it in under 15 seconds. Then the whole team is a failure. Right? Within the global clusters, right? What I'm trying to, because, you know, one of the there's this motto that I stole from my days in the military police, and it's on the plaque that we have. I've got one in the house here. I put it up on the wall, and it says below the military police logo, it says "Exemplo ducemo." Right? Exemplo ducemo means by example we lead.
By example we lead.
By example we lead. Exemplo ducemo. Now, what I'm trying to gather there is this: we already have a mantra, which is make Africa and Nigeria great again. Right? But every single 001 in this organization needs to know that your main job right now is to lead by example. Right? Whatever it is that you're, whether you are ARE, whether you are properties, whether you are agriculture, whether you're security, whether you're welfare, whether you're healthcare, whether you're whatever, right? Scream your department from the rooftops. Right? Get on people's nerves. Make people want to just join for the sake of shutting you up. Right? Because listen, nobody's going to know what you do or how it works unless you are passionate about what you do.
Amazing. Yes, right? That's true.
I'm a security professional, right? I wear security on my sleeves. When I walk into a room, everybody knows that or thinks I'm either a policeman, a soldier, or a security guard, or a bodyguard. Because that's how I carry myself. Right? Whatever business you do, carry people, you know, people shouldn't necessarily have to ask you what you do before they know what you do.
You do, yeah.
Right? I find it very hard to hide myself because people look at me and they know instinctively that this guy's a soldier. Right? Because I carry myself that way, I speak that way. I mean, when I went to Teach and Win, right? And I was called on stage by yourself, you know, the moment I got on that stage, people
Mhm.
already knew,
Mhm.
right? That, you know, this guy isn't, you know, they didn't just call him retired
Mhm.
colonel. They can see that
Mhm.
this guy is a soldier. And the way I spoke, you know, I was, you know, I commanded that stage.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
Now, one of the things that I would love that, you know, everybody and anybody who is on here now, who is listening, who is watching, is this: own
Mhm.
your territory. Right?
Mm.
If you
Own
do
your
not know how to
territory.
speak publicly, go and look at your mirror every day in the house and talk to your mirror until you are
Mm.
confident enough to be able to deliver without even
Mm.
writing anything down, because you know what you're talking about.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right? If you're experienced in a certain field, let your
Mm.
experience speak louder than you do.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
This is
Mhm.
who we are. This is what we do, and this is where we're going.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
I,
Mm.
as I said, as you know, you know, I'm very excited. You know, I'm looking forward to coming to Nigeria. You know, like the day when we went to Madame Doris's place.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
You know, it was the few things that I said that made her want to introduce me to Baba.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right?
Ben.
And
Ben.
you know, I have no regrets. I look back on it, you know, it was fantastic. It was great. You know,
Mm.
the opportunity to sell myself as to what I
Mhm.
do and how I do it, you know, it's absolutely
Mm.
fantastic. You know, and this is what I want people to, you know, this is what I want people to hang on to right
Mhm.
about now, right? You know, we're talking security here. Be secure in yourself,
Mm. Mm.
right?
Mm.
Be
Mm.
secure
Mm.
in yourself.
Mm. Mm. Secure in
Stand
yourself.
tall, right?
Mm.
Stand tall, because you know, another something I'm going to drop today is the fact that people need to recognize that human beings feed off the fear of other human beings,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
right? In order to be an A1 security officer, you need to show no fear, right? You could be, you know, entry
Mm.
level security officer,
Mhm.
right? And you are standing at a gate and Dangote arrives, right? Now, instead
Mm.
of you shaking because it's Dangote, one of the richest men in the world, right? Make Dangote realize that he has now stepped into your territory,
Mhm.
right? Dangote can't walk into my house and say, because I'm Dangote, open the door, I've got to come in and sit down and go and cook for me,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I have to invite you into my house.
Mm. Mm.
Right?
Mm.
Because remember, Your Excellency, we had this conversation at Madame Yarrow's place, right?
Yes, I remember.
I,
Yes.
I am the security officer. You are the visitor, right? Your jurisdiction does not reach here, right? Whether
Mm.
you're best friends with the person who lives here or not, as it stands, I am in charge. So when you
Mm.
come, you respect my territory, right? That is security.
Mm.
You're not rude about it, you know, because you know that you actually command more respect if you are respectful,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? I
Mhm.
do not need to scream, I do not need to shout. I just need to be
Mhm.
confident with what I'm doing and how I'm doing it.
Brother,
Right?
look my house.
Mm.
Right? I just need to command the respect that my territory deserves.
Mm. Mm.
Right?
Mm. Mm.
This
Mm.
is security.
Mm.
Right? When I go to a party with you, because I am your security officer, I do not need to
Mm.
stand on the dance floor with you. I need to be at
Mm.
a safe distance so you can enjoy your life.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
But at the same time, keep my eyes on you and what's going on around you. Right? That is security.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
But as time
Mm.
goes on, we will get there. You know, we'll train each other. Because this is what we do and this is how we're going to do it. You know, and we
Mhm.
will succeed because this is what we do and we will have to succeed. You know, what I am going to be looking at, Your Excellency, is
Mhm.
how we get accreditation in Nigeria for the course. I think I've sent it to you. Right,
Mhm.
I've sent you the little tidbit that I'm into. The introduction is what I sent you. The PowerPoint
Mhm.
presentation I sent you is the introduction to the course. And all I want is, I would like to have it government registered in Nigeria. And when we come to Nigeria, when we go to Nigeria, all of the talks that we're going to be given, right, are going to be geared towards all these different sectors and areas, so that as Nigerians, right, we stop believing that security is just about people wearing uniforms and walking around, carrying radios and sticks. Right? Communication should be one of the forefront aspects of what we do in security, right? Because if you cannot communicate with me, right, then I don't know what you're talking about. And if you cannot communicate with me, you stand more of a chance of assaulting somebody and getting yourself into trouble. Right? Along with that communication, you know, like I said, we're looking at report writing. You know, if we went to 30 guys in Nigeria who do security and asked them to write a report for the day's work, right? How many of them could do it? Do you understand? We are now in the 21st century, right? We should be moving on, right? Now, I'm not saying that people in Nigeria shouldn't set up security companies, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But unfortunately, what I found in Nigeria is you've got 1,000,001 security companies, but no security. Right? You've got 1,000,001 security companies in Nigeria, but no security. Right? How many security officers in Nigeria know how to do first aid properly? Right? How many security officers in Nigeria know what to do when there's a fire in the building? Right? How many security officers in Nigeria know what to do if there's a report of a bomb in a car? How many security officers in Nigeria know the phonetic alphabet, let alone how to use a radio? Right? These are areas that we need to brace in Nigeria. You know, yes, Nigeria is moving on. Nigeria is coming up. We now have Wi-Fi, right? We have Wi-Fi in Nigeria now. We have broadband. You understand? You know, people are rigging up all sorts of gadgets in their house now. They're living in America, watching their houses in Nigeria. Fantastic. Right? Fantastic. Now, let's get to the point where the police have a central phone number. Right? The ambulance service has a central phone number. The fire brigade has a central phone number. Right? So that when somebody gets hit by a car, or you know, or they faint, people don't just run in there and lift the person up and throw them in somebody's car and drive them to the hospital. You know, for how many years will our people in Nigeria graduate as doctors, engineers, this, that, whatever, right? But you look at the facilities you have in your country, and the government are not even providing enough resources for these areas to thrive. Right? Why do we still not have a proper ambulance service in Nigeria? Right? Why are hospitals, you know, general hospitals, you know, state-owned, federal-owned hospitals still asking you to pay money before you're seen to? Right? The government's budget should include the fire, police, and ambulance service. Right? Why am I going to a police station and the police officers are telling me to bring my car for them to come in my car to go to the scene of a crime? You know? Why? There's a lot of whys. Right? There's a lot of whys. And the thing is this, you see, let's call a spade, right? The excuses are now expired. Right? Because, you know, when all the people in government have billions of dollars in their accounts, right? Billions of dollars in their accounts, but you're saying that the government has no money, right? How can the government have no money, but you've got billions of dollars in your account? So where did your billions come from? right? Where did your billions come from? Because as it stands, right, Nigeria is still owing Britain money. Nigeria is still owing America money. So if you're owing, if the country is still owing these countries money, where did that money come from and where did it go? Right? Where did it come from and where did it go? Because if America is loaning you 26 billion, right? I'm pretty sure that 26 billion was supposed to go towards the funding of government entities, right? Like the fire, the police, and the ambulance, right? It's supposed to go towards funding the energy in Nigeria, right? So that when you now realize all this money back, you give them back their money.
Yes.
Right? But none of this has been done, right? You are buying a brand new private jet. The other one's buying a brand new helicopter, right? You just bought yourself a brand new house in Banana Island, right? But the country has no money, right? You've got employees who aren't being paid properly, right? No one's been able to live off the salaries that they're earning, right? And yet you're claiming that there's no money in the country. You understand? So these are the areas. This is why when we're talking about security, right, people need to learn to secure their mind.
Yes, I agree. Secure your mind.
Right? Secure your mind. Right? Enough of the rubbish. You know, enough of the rubbish talk. Right?
Sir, I think Onye's farm wants to say something on that.
Yeah,
He
please
quickly
do.
want to jump on it.
Yeah,
sir,
please do.
you can unmute yourself and talk to us, sir. Onye's farm. Snail unit. Can you talk to us, sir?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity once again. You gave me this opportunity last year or early this year.
You're welcome, sir.
And I did stop briefly before I went off air on TikTok.
You're welcome.
Yes, actually, the problem here in Nigeria, I would want to go back to a man I so much admire. He's late now, General Sani Abacha. He said something that I will never forget. He said, any insurgents that last more than 24 hours, government officials are involved. If you look at that place, from when we came into democracy proper, from Obasanjo regime down to Yaradua and Goodluck. This insurgency were not there, and it was designed by some politicians who want to exclude Nigeria of their own entity. And we can see after Yaradua, Goodluck takes over after 2 years of Goodluck system. This same element of people begin to engulf Nigeria and create this artificial problem. And when you create an artificial problem, and when they grew up, you can't contain them because you have made them a monster. And I keep telling people, just like my president said earlier on, that own your territory, which already I have done that in my area. I lost here in Abuja 2.5 hectares of land that I designed that I'm going to train young people in various areas of farming and how to go about it in an organic way.
Wow, amazing.
But as I speak to you, I'm 16, I can no longer step into that farmland. I can no longer step into that farmland.
Wow.
Back home, I have about 10 hectares of land, which I'm thinking to do that. And back home, my youth, I have started working on them, and I'm going to teach them how to ranch. That in 6 months, a cow of 6 months will be competing with a cow of 1 year. That you can also have a milk system from that place. And I think all the youth, some of you that have ventured into this system, I want all of you to donate your family land for we to do this. I'm coming to teach you for free. One, those cows will be tied by your own, by the land you donate, that they won't roam around the community and the street, where you will build a maximum security for them. Then the other 9 aspects of the land, we will cultivate what they will eat that will be of a health benefit more for them than roaming. That in under 6 years, your cow will be competing with a cow of 1 year old.
Wow.
Naturally. That we will have a different from that, but I have been having health challenge gradually, that I only talk to them on the social media area, using social media facility to talk to them. But I'm planning by January, I will design a program for them that I will start with them, and how to preserve their food. Then back to the security.
Before you jump into the security, you will jump into it right now. You see what you have just said now. Please kindly DM your number, because we need to do a whole lot together. We created a concept in the community called Project ARE, Agri Real Estate and Export. I want to replicate in the 37 cities of the Federal Republic of Nigeria first. It's a movement. It's not just an initiative. It's a movement. And as I'm speaking to you, we are almost completing a farmers market that is capable of doing 1,000 cows per day. It's going to be the biggest in the whole of West Africa, in Abuja. We have launched a tutorial, which I'm going to make sure that you're part of the training arm of that our farmers market in Abuja right now. It's almost done. It's like 85% complete, done. And before I left Nigeria, we launched the academy, and the newly elected Minister of Livestock came, and the essay to the president on livestock matter to came, and all of that. So you DM me your number. All of this training, we want to make sure that we put youth in their cluster in every city, so that they can farm for their city. And I have some revelation about farming. You understand? I understand that we are all product of agric. You understand? As a matter of fact, the spermatozoa and the egg that women generated, they are all product of agric. Because if anybody have a low sperm count, the product that they will use to be able to have the right sperm count is agricultural produced product. And if someone is not ovulating well, the product that they will use is equally an agric product. So we are agric ourselves, and we are sustained by agric. Even when we're in our mother's womb, the food we eat, what we take from her is agric. When they give back to us, what has sustained us is agric. We are taking a tea this morning is agric. Water is agric. Everything is partially agric. So it's a no-brainer. And I see that agric can actually take us out of any problem we have find ourselves in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, both the insurgency, both the security, and all of that. So please take note of that. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, now back to the security itself.
Yes, sir.
Those who create this problem are those who are not naturally Nigerian bred. Is a community, is a movement, and they decided to do this and take charge of the country. Which, as I went back, I talked to the youth and I talked to our community chief, that the problem that do happen in every community also started with you, the head. Because they will come and they will never tell you they are coming to buy your community. They will lure you in with gifts and money. and you will accept their coming. And when they come, because of what they gave to you, they have already, in other words, they tell you that we have bought your community over and you have no say. So on that, and I gathered some youth and I told them, this new vehicle that just coming, these 2 new vehicles that are just coming, and he started the structure. Something is wrong elsewhere. We need to address this. And we told him that the throne was in section before your great father, and you will leave the throne, another person will ascend it. So we don't know how come this gift overnight. You better return the gift overnight and stop the game you are playing, because you will shortly leave the throne now and somebody will ascend that. And when you understand the language we are communicating, overnight, as the vehicle came in the night, the vehicle also left in the night. And we also communicate to him that we are farmer here. And if they want to be with us as a cattle rearer here, then the land you need to give them, it should be your family land. And the only thing we have in common is the federal road government. And they shouldn't go left nor go right. They should remain on the road to wherever they are going, not within the boundary of the community. If they are going out, fine. And if they are coming back the same way to the land of your family that you will show them to inherit. Because you have decided to do an exchange with them. And we don't like that exchange because they destroy what Mother Nature has given to us for we to enjoy. And eventually, maybe he discussed that with them, and we begin to see them moving to another direction, of which we also tell them that we are not scared of anything. And I also tell the youth, don't engage battle with them. If they destroy your thing and you destroy their own, don't touch it. Let the Mother Earth consume that. In that way, they will be afraid of you because they know that you are not interested in what they have. And that was how we began to live peaceful, have our land, and they are no longer within our jurisdiction. That is how to resolve that. Because if you kill their own and you consume it, in no time, they will reprise an attack that you might not come out of it, that you will vacate your community completely, which we all know that all that are happening presently in Nigeria. So since we cannot address it from the federal level to stop this, you can address it from your community because this is where you own. And you can only address it from who represents you outside. That issue of security will be solved because when they come, what they do first is to survey the entire place. Know your weak point and your stronghold. And they will come, hit your stronghold, you have nowhere to go. And you have to leave the place for them. So you need to devise this means on how to stop them technically. Because that, if I would also want to tell you how we can also identify this architectural builder of this problem, if you go back to Goodluck Jonathan regime, when Okonjo-Iweala increased petroleum product from, I think, 57 to 80 something, you see this same group came out, bring it down or you resign. And if you see from them, when they ascend the authority, it's the same set of people that increase all these prices that they are asking somebody to bring down, which also worsen the whole economy situation. Now, when a driver who is bringing load let me use a essential commodity like food from the community down to the city, he will also increase the price of transportation. Now, when we talk about livelihood now in Nigeria or in Africa in general, if not South Africa and part of North Africa, nobody's paying living wage. And there's no increase in salary. So how do you think corruption will be wiped off when your salary cannot buy you a bag of rice for a family of 8?
Wow.
And you're talking about them going to school, talking about them, your house rent and all these essential needs for every family. Your salary cannot afford you a bag of rice before talking about cooking. 12.5 kg of gas now is around 16,800 in Abuja side. Talk to me because I'm talking from Abuja. I bought one yesterday. Now, if you take it from the 70,000, how much is remaining? House rent in Abuja of a 3-bedroom flat is about 5.5 million.
Jesus.
Grade level 10, can he afford that if he doesn't put his hand in a dirty place? Then how easily can we eradicate this menace that will not happen? If you're going like a retiree now, coming to push his file, you must pay for your file to move from one desk to another. So as at the time, the leader think twice. We borrow money from an international organization, and you don't know where this money is going to. It doesn't give us any infrastructure. FRI will tell you how much they generate at the end of the year. It doesn't appear in our budget. We borrow to run the country. And if I will list more organizations, the custom will tell you this is what we generate at the end of the year. It goes nowhere. Now, in a budget that's supposed to have, we are petroleum product nation, that you have to have a set aside for what internal use. The country, the authority will tell you we've sold it for the past 10 years. So how can the system run very, very well? Like we are talking about working system. Those that left this shore to go and learn and come back becoming an authority handler will also do the same thing that those who are in authority that have seen the good and the bad of how working system works, they will come back to the same tool that those who are here are touring. So these are the big challenge that I was making comment on, that it will be very, very hard to return to the 70s when things were fair. And the same leaders now that will tell you people will come and invest, that you yourself have not invested. Where you invest first is security. I was in Dubai some time ago, about 12 years now, 12 to 14 years. If your thing got missing there, it will come back to you. And when you put that security measure around, you won't invite anybody to come and invest. They will come by themselves. They will be hungry to come in. Because when they come in, they know what they are going to do. Because everything that we need as planet Earth is here in Nigeria, both the one we've discovered and the one that we have not discovered.
Yes.
These are the challenges. If the authority, the law are meant for the poor, not for the rich. This is where the problem lies. If the law that you apply to the common man is also applied to the rich, I tell you, Nigeria will be the #1 country in the whole world because whatever you are looking for is here. It's here. In 2018, I got job in US. I refused, thinking that security issue will come down. Now, if you have a vehicle in US, you pay for your parking space, but we don't do that here. And you must walk your axe to get what you want. I can ask you, let's go out and I'll pay for your entertainment, but it will be very difficult for other continents to do that.
To do that. They do contribute.
Because if I'm taking you out, you are paying your bill.
Yes, everybody.
But here, if I'm taking you out, if I'm taking you out here, I pay your bill. That is how lovely this place is. But the authority make it difficult. Let me shock you one thing that will surprise you. When we talk about security issue cannot be solved, it's the same authority that create the security issue. That is why she cannot solve it. Now, let me use this word. A terrorist or a kidnapper will kidnap somebody and will still make the cell phone that every SIM are registered to government authority bank. And you cannot trace where this call is coming from. The kidnapper, the triangular form of security chain are not being implemented. So by that, the caller should be known. And the location should also be known. Then how can't you easily track these people? A terrorist will make a call. We are coming to invade this community, and security force will not be available to solve that problem. This is where the issue lies. I said this insurgency issue. If you give me 4 months, I will put it to rest. Let me give you another tips again. During late Buhari government, United Arab Emirates give us list of those who are sponsoring these insurgents. The government did nothing about it. So a lot more of it. Like as I'm in Abuja now, I'm preferring going back to my village because what I need is there to exist. No average person in Nigeria now, you are either rich or you are poor.
Right.
And those who claim to be a middle class is a fake life. It's a completely fake life. That is why I said it's difficult to do this change easily. In a short term, it won't exist. In a long term of, let me put it, 30 years from now, if we are being honest to ourselves and those that we want to groom will be honest. That is my fear. In 2018, let me be precise. I was in Newark. A friend of mine, a journalist with CNN, called me, your president is here. I took off to New York because Newark is not far from New York. And I bought a flight to Washington, D.C. Biafra Radio have my interview. And where Buhari then was living is about 4 governors from the western state of this country were with him there. I asked one, what is your duty here? You are the number 1 citizen of your state. You should be able to take care of your community, not here. Even if you are to send somebody, it should be your business head in the state that should come here if you're trying to do something well back home. And I saw about 5 different groups that were saying 5 different wrong things. That is where I write off some of our youths who are studying abroad, that there will be no meaningful change when they see the good thing happening there, instead of them coming back home to replicate them. As at that moment, in Benue State, a community was almost wiped out completely. And the priest who went to celebrate the mass on Saturday, they came to the parish, wipe off everything. And you're telling me that security has been decimated with all these things. You see Channels TV back in US, there are certain things that some of you should say no to. But you are saying yes to the wrong information that they are giving to you, despite you are seeing the information on the information technology system. Now coming to tell me that Naira has been balanced Do you really understand the balance system of Naira? Look at when this system take over, how much was a dollar to Naira? And how much is dollar today that you're talking about? So are you not giving false information to those who are interested in coming back home and they are receiving a different message from home? Are you making those who are interested to invest back home to put an investment? Or when you finish from here, will you like to go back home? Every good thinking citizen should also be thinking of where he comes from. Because that is your source of life. Place that people can also come in. In the 70s, you see some of our universities are having a foreign expatriate teaching our 60s, teaching in our universities. But hardly now you don't see that. Because one, they get the right information about the country, exactly what is happening, and nobody wants to take that risk. Even if they don't have job in their place, they prefer staying there. But when you tackle this monster insecurity that we're sincere to ourselves, doing the right thing, you will see in no time you'll be afraid of staying in your own country because the kind of people that will come in to invest and we do the right thing, in no time, everybody will enjoy it. And a mission that people will listen, anchor to it, take it and fly. And when we take it and fly, in no time, those who build this situation will also repent from the wrong act and procedure.
Yes.
Let me also hit one other information again. A parastatal will budget for what he will do that things will go right to elevate that unit. They will never spend that money until December, and they will do a return to federal government coffer. So how do we build a nation like this? Let me centralize it back now on health. You need all this equipment to keep life going. Instead of getting the right drug, you get an adulterated drug. How is the life you want to treat will be right? And let me fish out a unit there. When Dora Akunyele was here, NAFDAC was driving very, very right. They clamped down on every drugs that are not meeting standard. But today, go to the pharmacy. December last year, I bought drug for malaria. It worsened my situation.
Wow.
Until I have to go through head route. That I have to steam myself with. And I came back. Okay. So if we put money away and embrace other people's life, the life will be the place that you won't want to go out of it. Because there will be no frustration around you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Just like you said, thank you very much, sir. Just like you said, that was the reason from the first nation building social media platform called the Global Cluster. And we started since last year, and we're bringing people together. In 1884, the issue we had was that these white people are seeing us and they know that we're filled with so many great opportunities and all of that. And that is why they don't want us to unite. You understand? And that is what we are now fostering right now. Thank God you're bringing something on the table. All your expertise will be used and for inclusivity of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We don't need to be in government to effect change. That is what we're saying. You understand? We don't need to be in government. We're going to connect with one another. You're going to volunteer in the security cluster. Retired Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin, which is the 001 in the global security cluster here, is a British born, based in the United Kingdom, and retired already, and said, okay, all the knowledge, all the wisdom, everything that I've gotten from the British training, I want to bring it back to my father's land to make sure that we do the right thing. So, and we need people to actually give him the right support. With your support, sir, with retired Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin and some other people, I've spoken to some ACPs, CPs, we've even written to the IGP, you understand, to foster security, and they've asked one ACP to call and all of that. So we're going to come together and build our father's land. Just like you said, you have one expertise, and which we know that by the time we impact this in most of the youth in the 36 states of Federal Republic of Nigeria, including FCT, which makes it 37, we know we're going to build a better Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we're going to extend to other African nations. As you can see in the comment section, you can see billion areas. That is the 001 on the East Africa cluster of the global clusters, and that is Sister Susan is the one that actually typing there. And we have allies everywhere. I'm a UN personnel. Yeah. I'm a UN personnel, and we can actually connect so many people from so many places together so that we can foster the peace we all crave for. Thank you for that submission. Let me give the baton back to the 001. We have some people here that might want to contribute again, but before that, I want you to jump on what our brother say, oh yes, fam. Just said to us, please, fam.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. You see, it goes back to what we were saying earlier on.
Yes.
The wound or the bruise has already been there, and instead of treating the bruise for what it is, people have basically been putting a band-aid or a plaster over that wound, and now that wound has festered. Right now, one of the reasons why security has been overlooked for so many years, and one of the reasons why the farmland, like the gentleman who spoke earlier was talking about, things like that haven't been looked upon as areas that need looking out for, is because of the fact that everybody was playing the game of every man for himself and God for all. Right? Now, if we stop playing every man for himself and God for all, right, the areas in land and property and farmland that a lot of us don't know about, we can learn on the job.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
People who know about farming, people who know about land, people who know about properties. I don't need a massive degree qualification in farming and property before I know what to do, because of the fact that I've been hanging around with persons in the ARE or persons in the property field. I've sat down and I've listened to people like yes, all these people, right? I've picked up tips and I've picked up points, and while I'm listening to them, I'm now saying to them, okay, fine, you know what? You've got this property here, you've got this land here. Now, this property here, if I put 3 security officers in here, right? One at the desk, one at the door, and one who's going to patrol, right? We can keep our eyes on your property 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Right? On that land over there, I could put a 10-man team on that 2-3 acres of land, right? I'll have one supervisor, right? A couple of mobile patrols, a couple of guys who are out and about with radios, and 2 or 3 guys in the control room who are going to be communicating with you as to what's going on. Right? Now, what I'm doing there is basically this. I don't need to be on that land. I don't need to be on that property. I've got eyes on that property. I've got feet on that property, and they're communicating to me so that I know when the reports are written at the end of the day, right? When we have a meeting with the shareholders and the stakeholders. We can say to them, okay, fine. On Oshidairo's property that is in point A, right? We have certain observations, and this is what I think we need to do. And Badmus's property that's over there, right? Such and such happened last week, right? We need to avoid that. So therefore, these are the new implemented ideas we're going to put in on that property, and this is what we're going to do going forward, right? So what happens there is this. You then realize that you are making more money on your business than you are spending on it because of the fact that where you had to overspend, right? Because of the fact that people have used their eyes and ears to notice certain areas that we're going to block, right? That means that the money you would have spent in repairing whatever is damaged, right? You save some, right? And then out of the profit, right, at the end of the month or at the end of 6 months or 3 months or whatever quarter, right, you gift the people who helped you. Right?
That is amazing.
Because you know, a happy workforce is a productive workforce, right? If you, this is why I said earlier on, when you stop looking at the security of your business as just being a, remember I said it last year, Your Excellency, stop saying ordinary or common. Right? If you have a property and you've got good security officers looking after your property, right? They're no longer common. They're no longer ordinary. They are a part of the family. They are a part of the building of that business. Right? They are instrumental in making sure that your business, number one, still exists. Number two, it thrives. And number three, that you're safe. So that means that they're in a bigger firing line than you. Right? They're keeping your business afloat. Right? You're spending less, right, on replacing that which was taken, stolen, or damaged.
Yes, then.
Right? And out of that profit, right, at the end of the quarter, right, where your security officer was probably taking home 30 to 50,000, right? He takes home 75,000 and he's happy. Right? Because he has helped you to save hundreds of thousands, if not millions of naira. Right? And for his efforts, you've given him an extra 25, 50, 75,000 naira on top of his salary. Right?
Let's allow the East Africa coordinator, cluster coordinator, jump into it right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, please.
Let's allow her to tell us what's security like in Kenya and in the East Africa, because this is the voice of the person you're here listening to is the 001 Global Security Cluster of the Global Clusters, and we want to start from Nigeria. We want to extend to other African nations, and want to make sure we have a mantra saying that make Africa and Nigeria great again, and that is why we have formed a community of professionals, technocrats, and entrepreneurs with different initiatives. So what's your take on this, Sister Susan?
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for giving me this opportunity.
Yes.
And I'm really proud to see the global clusters is growing. Yes. And I would like to just iterate on whoever had talked about the surroundings. We talked about knowing your surrounding, knowing your rights, and even the security companies are grouped all together in Kenya to basically know who is engaged in security and who is not. Currently, we have a lot of political civil war happening in Tanzania. And as you've heard in the social media pages, that we have people who have even worn the security officer uniform, so you cannot know who is who. So people are really, you are confused whether this is a policeman or not, because in this case, people have not been able to detect their environments. Security companies are not coming together. Like in Kenya, we have bodies that regulate security organization. And when it comes to circumstances of self-defense, there is a lot of compromise because people lack knowledge. The speaker had talked about knowing our rights, and that is the challenge majorly we are facing. And then in terms of associating with positive thinking Africans, and that spirit of Pan-Africanism gives us an advantage to, as Africans, to get together and secure ourselves. And we also look into food security. Food security is so wide in our context, where land security is an issue, because so many people their land is taken away because of improper legal procedures. Therefore, they face a lot of land grabbing issues, which leads to a lot of food insecurity because they are not able to properly conduct their farming activities to be productive enough. So the land tenure system has to be seriously worked on, and as global clusters, let us stand out for each other to make sure that we block out the irregularities that may affect our members. And we just need, by all means, to protect our members. In terms of, this is a global community, and indeed, security goes beyond, it just goes beyond the physical to the virtual. And in this case, we need to take care of our virtual security surroundings, especially on issues of data and privacy. And the key issues I had typed on the side chat in our chats would be like unauthorized access and data breaches that could actually affect us as a cluster. And then we also have either outsider or insider threats, because with the global inventions and people knowing a lot of AI, there is a lot of things that needs to be done. For example, we had, just to give you a global example, back in 2018, Facebook, Cambridge Analytica scandal that happened, that revealed a lot of the misuse of personal data that would influence societal decisions like maybe elections, which global cluster has to distance from. Then we also have issues of societal values to reinforce the need for trust, consent, and transparency in data use. So as global clusters, it would be very important to make sure we have these societal values where people have to know us for who we are. People have to know us as people who restore trust, consent, and this will make us grow in numbers and extensionally. And therefore, I would also like to highlight issues that affect East Africa, and especially the cyber threats and system integrity. You know, Kenyans are known to be very intelligent in terms of hacking and all that. So we have issues of malware and phishing and even DDoS attack that could really disrupt our community services. So those are the things we need to really look into and make a decision on as the global clusters. Because even getting an example, we had a crippled attack in some kind of it was an institution kind of an app that people attacked it, and we had wrong information, and especially it was touching on hospitals and institutions. So as global clusters and the security department, we have to really think about these issues. And then when it comes to human behavior risks, of course, we have a lot of cyberbullying happening currently, and misinformation and just harmful content in terms of when online communities are intimidating and all that. So this would be a good idea to just think through as a community. And the most pressing key issues are just the governance risks and even the organization risks that a global cluster is likely to encounter. And of course, we have weak authentication procedures that would be really important to be checking from time to time. And this could lead to a lot of lack of accountability. But then I have seen Global Clusters has a very strong authentication procedure. And I believe that if we check that every now and then, we need to have those frequent security meetings to not only just talk about the security matters, but resolve it in terms of what is likely to happen to the global cluster. So we need to conduct a real risk analysis or a risk, we prepare some kind of a risk matrix for global clusters on the possibility of what could happen, and especially with the issues of AI coming in. And I would also just like to urge my fellow clusterians that we need to protect ourselves from those that unauthorized access. And as our leader said, we need to look into issues of just looking around us and knowing who is around us, what has changed. And those are the things that really matter and what we need to look into every now and then into our cluster platforms, especially those who are involved in the IT and security departments. So we also need to hold our integrity in place by keeping data accurate and authentic, by not letting people just post things that would really compromise our integrity. So we believe in honesty and reliability, and from what I know, our global president Badmas believes so much into issues of honesty and reliability. So integrity should be part and parcel. So we should look around to see how our information is. And then the availability is where we can just make sure our services are accessible to where is needed, because most of the time I look at our platforms and I see only one currency, like we need to be universal. Let us talk about dollar, because dollar is universal. If we start now transacting in Naira or Kenya shillings, that shows it places the organization in a certain context, and it places us in a very compromising situation. Like, since Kenyans are known for, they have hacked even in the American systems. For those in the US, you have had some Kenyans implicated for such. And if something is transacted in, like, let's say Kenya shilling, Nigeria, people will brand us. So let us try to be universal in our approach. And issues of authentication, I think we have really tried as global clusters, because we have those authentication sign-in procedures that are much accountable and safe to people who would even put in their financial resources. And therefore, let us try to have a security goal and prepare that very implementable security procedures with risk assessment matrices. So that's all I have to say. And thank you once again for listening to me.
Wow. Amazing. Before you go, I want you came up with one initiative, and this is an initiative to track progress. In 2 minutes, please kindly educate us about it.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I am the CEO and founder of Development Tracking Tools. In short, it's DTT app. It's an app that helps individuals, organizations, and businesses track their progress with dashboards to just enable remote working, group working remotely with CRM. Basically, CRM means all the business inventory. Whether you're having a business and you want to check out, to key in your information and conduct an inventory by the end of the month, you'll have AI insights on now how the business is doing, who are the clients. And on a personal level, it tracks progress. It also tracks your moods. And with the end of the month, or whichever the streak you have, it gives you a trajectory of where your emotions land or are, because at that point, it tells you if your trajectory is moving poorly, then it recommends you to have a psychologist. And then we are working on the service providers. Somebody impressed me by talking about having some calls, service calls somewhere to just highlight the nearest places and how you can benefit. So we are also working on that so that professionals would sign in and having the distances where services can be provided. On an executive point of view, we also have that tool that gives you the voter insights as a politician or somebody who needs votes. And once they are keyed in, you're able now to know the opinions of voters and the insights about you and areas where to work on. It also tracks your resources. And at that point, it saves you a lot from people extorting from you. So it's an extensive tool that manages individuals, executives, communities, and also companies. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. So the next person we're going to be hearing from will be Travel with Grace. But before then, let's hear from the 001 Global Security Cluster, based on the submission of our East 001 East Africa Cluster of the Global Clusters.
You know what's so beautiful about that is Africa is standing up now. Africa has now truly arrived on the global clusters. Your Excellency, when we begin our work 2026, is it possible that we could try and schedule in a meeting with that young lady there? Because I think we have a lot that we can discuss, a lot we can talk about.
Of course,
that's right.
Okay, but by the way, we have been together now for almost, if not almost 10 years, 10 years, thereabout.
Yeah.
You understand? He is one of the board of directors of Goodness Learning Center in Kenya.
Okay.
You understand? So, and he has been keeping the company up and running. Now we have the global clusters, and is the one trying to put all of the East African together. As a matter of fact, I'm sending you the website now, the free version of the global cluster, which is the www.thesparkups.org, so that everyone can jump into it. And there are free courses for people. They can chat, they can make calls, they can do everything that they want to do. They can create their own ops. Let's have the op for the new initiative for people to track progress. And then I equally want to say that you need to create a time, maybe 1 hour in a week, to educate the global clusters about this initiative. We want it to go worldwide. We want everyone to use it worldwide. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, because with a lot of the initiatives that she spoke about, combined with what we have in mind and what we're trying to do, what we're trying to achieve. Do you understand? And then obviously our journeys out to places like the Burkinabe, and Ghana and all these other places. Do you understand? The goal now is to liaise with all these other big time security persons, in every part of the African world that we can get to, to sit down and compare notes, exchange ideas, and build. Right? This is what we're all about. This is what it's all about. Do you understand? And as we go along, as we move along, we are nourishing people's minds. We're educating ourselves and we're growing. Right? No point in us meeting every Saturday and just talking and talking and talking and talking. People like this young lady who has come on now, and she said her piece, and it's absolutely fantastic. I'm so blown away. I am so blown away. And for me, this is the beginning of the beginning. There are so many more people. Obviously, the ACPs are there, the NSCDC is there, the Customs and Excise are there, Immigration is there. All these places. Coupled with all the security companies and the like. We can build on our security knowledge. We can build on our security operations right throughout Africa. And join our knowledge, our education, our experiences, and our operations together to build, to the point where, as I've said in many a week, right, where the Western world will need us more than we need them. Right? And we are moving in that direction, and to the glory of God, we will get there.
So let's have travel with grace. What's your take on this?
Is she there?
Pastor and Grace?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's there. Excellent.
Yes,
all right.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much. I've been listening to everybody.
You're welcome.
Both from connection. And everyone has spoken. And as I always say, every Saturdays, let's encourage ourselves. The journey is not easy, but we have to. I wouldn't want to say, but I have to call a spade that I have given up on. But we just have to carry on encouraging ourselves, to be honest, and pull together to make this work. Nobody is going to sit here and say that it's easy or it's going to be easy. Nothing in life is easy. But if it is easy, everybody will be doing it. In terms of security, I don't want to repeat myself about what I say almost every weekend in terms of security, but just for the sake of anyone who is hearing this for the first time, security is a key. Security is like water or fluid that we need in our daily lives. So we need to take it serious, and we need to bring all our forces together, and make the global cluster, especially with this that started with this initiative, to make it work, so that we don't even need to start inviting outsiders. People will see it and they will want to join. I think that should be our goal, to make it so beautiful and so attractive in every way, so that people sees it on social media and they want to be part of it. I would like to also, if you don't mind, our global president, Your Excellency, if you don't mind, I can help to set up an appointment with yourself and Mr. Onizamfam.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, I can't pronounce
Onyinspam.
Name. Oh, is it Onyinspam? Okay.
Onyinspam.
Okay, so that
yes.
Just for us to liaise together and work together.
Yes.
In terms of the land.
Yes.
I have made contact with the other man of last week, and I'm going to continue to make contact. He too has made contact, but we haven't set up a concrete appointment yet. So I can help to set up the appointment and connect with him. See how we all can work together in terms of the farm. Yes. The farmland. So I just believe that we all pulling together is going to give us the strength that we need. And we can also, like I said, encourage each other, because this journey is not easy, but nobody promised that it's going to be easy. But the most important thing is going to worth the while. That's all I have to say. I'm not, I don't say too much. Thank you very much. I just want to go straight to the point without repeating myself. Thank you very much. Celebrate you.
Currently, we're streaming on about almost 6 platforms, and on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook, and we're streaming on the Spark Up. We were streaming on the studio and on TikTok. So about 6 platforms we're currently streaming from. Um, uh, then we have a launch of a book on the 6th of November. Am I right, sir? 6th of November, Cluster and Cypran. We have a launch of a book. We'll soon be 6th of November. Please, everybody take note. And we're going to be having, if after the accurate knowledge and information this evening, we're going to be having a family meeting by um, 9 p.m. Nigerian time, while everybody is relaxing, a 1 hour family meeting. You understand? We're going to be having that 1 hour family meeting. So take note. Let's have the 002 certificate revolution of the person of Cluster and Cypran, Cluster and Olukayode Oyedotu. What's your take on today's security revolution?
Thank you very much, sir, our global president of the global clusters. Thank you for
Yes.
this great platform and thank you for the great opportunity you have given to us. I greet our 001 security cluster of the global clusters in person
Mm-hmm.
of Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin, retired. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for all you're doing for humanity, and thank you for not giving up on the security back home and in Africa. Thank you very much. I greet our First Lady and all the great clusterians. Grace to Grace, Ony's Farm, everybody that has spoken, I greet everyone. Thank you for your time and your contribution. Let's talk about security. It's a deep subject, and I'm glad it's in the hands of the right people that are able to take care of it. Because we young people are looking up to use once, and it's whatever you lay down, we are going to follow. And like everyone has said, in this era where security challenges demand both intelligence and empathy, what I got to take out of everything there first was, in security, a duty of care is very important. Security is not just about protection, it's about responsibility and empathy. We don't need to just think it's about protecting your properties alone.
Mm.
We need to protect our moral, our environment, our mind. Like Ogo once said, you need to be aware of your environment, be aware of what has changed. Because at the end of the day, security is very, very big. So it starts with you and everything around you and you again. And the number two very important thing in security that we all need, that we've got it naturally, but we just use it differently. And so many ones of us have not even discovered how good they are in communication. Communication is very, very important. Clear and coordinated communication is backbone of effective security system, and that's part of what we need in Nigeria and in Africa, because our mantra is let's make Africa and Nigeria great again. That is the mantra from the global clusters platform, to our father's land. And another great important point I got from what you have said is also about health and safety. A secure environment must also be a safe environment. Advocating occupational health and safety practices into daily operation. And that's why I said I'm glad that the security is in the hands of safe hands, like our 001. If you have been in the UK, you understand health and safety, even if you are not into security job. So I can imagine how much he is aware about health and safety. And not
Mm.
many of us understand health and safety. Even as a parent, you need to understand health and safety. You need to be aware of what your kids or your children are around. You need to understand the environment of your children. You need to know what can be harmful to them. You need to know what is going to, what you need to protect against so that they don't get hurt, like naked wires and stuff like that. because not everything that is dangerous comes from the outside. It could also come from the inside. So health and safety is very, very important, and it's an important topic that you can, take your time to study on. I'm sure it is part of the course that will be on the Spark Ops. And also first aid response. You said not many officers understand first aid. I want every one of us to know that we are all security officers. As a parent, as a brother, as a colleague, you need to understand some first aid response. We need to engage in knowing all these things, maybe reading it online, and I'm sure all these are going to be on the Spark Ops. That is why I was saying a great thank you to our, founder of the Global Clusters platform, because a lot of things is going to be coming through this platform, which is going to save a lot of lives. And the last part, and not the least, is accountability. If people can understand how to write a report, how to put things into writing, incident reports, all those kind of things, understand how to manage fire emergency, and also like Onyx Farm said earlier that some people have the money to do some stuff, but they cannot use it to create empowerment under the security. But in this global cluster platform whereby we all collaborate, we are all honest with each other, and accountability is very important. We are now wanting everyone listening to this and everyone that will be listening to us to know that all of us is we need to be accountable for our security. We need to take the accountability of our security very serious. Accountability remains the final measure of credibility. So that will be my contribution and my take on today's Let's Talk About Security with Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin. Thank you very much for this great opportunity, our global president. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The OOQ Scientific Revolution of the Global Cluster. As we are talking, one of my great sister all the way from Thailand. It's been a moment, sister Lady Sodi. How are you doing today? Came in and it's when we started the global clusters, we were discussing all of these things and everything. And he just jumped into the live streaming right now. And Lady Sodi, we're talking about security revolution. We're trying to make sure that every of our environment is secure, and we are asking, what is the cause of insecurity? How can we secure our environment? As regards Thailand, I know you guys have done a lot of work in your country as regards security, and maybe we can learn from what Thailand has done. How is security over there in Thailand, and how are people, embracing it?
Okay, the first I have to clarify you are in Igbo language and Yoruba language. Ekalo, ekalo, bravo.
Correct. Oh, that's great. That's great. You're trying. You're trying.
Yeah, long time. I see you. Yeah,
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Yeah.
You know, right? I ever gone to Nigeria before 4 years ago.
Wow.
And I saw environment of around Nigeria in Igbo land. I have a business in Igbo land. And the second, I am a police officer and Thai teacher who teach the foreigners come to Thailand to learn Thai language. Yeah, I did like that. And when you told me to talk about a security revolution in Thailand, and I will talk about environment that I saw in Nigeria before. I know Nigeria in big town, like a big state, and the state is development is like Lagos, in a Epia, in a Anambra, some place is a civilization, and they have revolution in environment enough, yeah, and I think I can compare. Compare is about this with the Thailand. And Thailand is I don't know if you ever gone to Thailand before, Global President, but if you ever gone to Thailand, you will know Thailand is so far already in development because we have a system in about development. And in fact, my country is an agriculture country in the first, but in now we change already. We change to be the factory country. It's a half in the agriculture too. Yeah, but my country try to build the system is a balance of factory country and agriculture country. That is why we have to make the system of security revolution. And but Thai people is not enough because in factory is allowed Thailand, but we have a zone. We divide the zone to do factory, and by the zone is agriculture, like that. But it's not enough. It's not enough to control the system. Yeah. And for Nigeria, I know Nigeria will be developed in the next, because the people have education is much and much, and I think the people is go around the world and will come back to develop in country of their hometown one day, and Nigeria can go far. Yeah. And I for Thailand for Thailand. I thought, like I told you, is we have a system. And we will know and learn our system and improve it to be best in the next. We still it's faced to the problem in development too. Yeah.
Wow, thank you, Lady Cody. Thank you for that wonderful contribution. Thank you. You're learning some evils. That's amazing. I think you need to teach me some Thai too. Definitely, I was invited to Thailand this year, but I could not make it because we're trying to create structures in the Federal Republic of Nigeria as to regard the global clusters. But by next year, definitely, I'll come to Thailand. Definitely, I'll be in Thailand. Having said that, our time is fast spent. We have spent over almost 2.5 hours on this live streaming, and I think it's a well done. I want to appreciate the 001 East African cluster of the global cluster, Sister Susan. Thanks for all you do to contribute positive to humanity. I want to appreciate the 002 Genuine Love Revolution of the global clusters worldwide. That is in the presence of Posterian, Cypran, Nwankwo. Don't forget, we're doing his birthday on the 6th of July, and we're equally launching his book. And, I want everyone to be part of this. We'll be on every social media, like 6 or 7 platforms altogether. And I want to appreciate Travel with Grace. Thanks for all you do. Always fam, we are not leaving each other. You understand? We have a lot to do. As a matter of fact, I want us to be the main supplier of the cows that we need in our farmers markets in Abuja. And we can even start work. We can even start supplying now. And I want us to start rearing. We want to rear in the West. We want to rear everywhere in the 37 cities of Nigeria. Please, we need to talk. And Master Genie, 002 Certificate Revolution, of the global cluster. Thanks for all you do to add positivity to humanity. Your voice, if you check my profile now, you will see one of your voice. I actually paid TikTok to amplify it because what you spoke there was really tremendous, and that's amazing. Lady Todi, we have to talk. I want you to jump into the Spark Ops. You understand? Just say hi to me on WhatsApp. You understand? Lady Sodi, say hi to me on WhatsApp. And Travel with Grace, please. Let's facilitate great meetings with Oyin's Farm. And you're welcome. The new person that just came favorite, you're welcome. This is the first nation building social media platform called the Global Clusters, and we are a consortium of professionals or aspiring professionals, technocrats or aspiring technocrats, entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, where we share accurate knowledge of our industry because it gives us right power, accurate information because that is the bridge between where we are and where we ought to be. Accurate connection because to whom we are connected to determine what to collect. And we are not just a social media platform with a marketplace with the best monetization on earth. We are the first nation building social media platform on earth. And it's proudly Nigeria, proudly Africa to the world. And we want people to actually be part of this community. We want you to join this community. To join is free. You can chat, you can make calls, you can create your own app, you can do whatever you want to do. Just like it can act as your LinkedIn. You can update your profile, your experience, your skills. It can act as your as your Facebook, where you can send a connection request. Somebody can accept. You can connect with these beautiful minds. You can inbox them and all of that. All of these things can actually be done. And you can make video calls. You can make voice calls. It's a social media platform where you don't really need your phone number to make calls. And people have been testifying about the voice call, about the video call that is so clear and it's making a lot of sense. So it's the Spark Up. Master Genie will drop it at the comment section now. www.thesparkups.org. Just connect with me. You will see me when you go to Spark Ups, and you can do free trainings there. There are free trainings that you can do on this community. You will meet everyone from all over the world. They are coming into this community because the community of professionals, technocrats, and entrepreneurs for nation building. So for nation building, strictly nation building, it promotes morals, it promotes humanity. It's not a place for us to watch our destiny. It's a place for us to bring all the positivity in our environment in the 54 African nation out to the world. And it's meant for the world, but it's built out of Africa. So that because we are regarded as third world nation, we are regarded as third world continent. So we have a lot of room to develop. So that is why we have come up with this concept. So, but if you want to be a premium member, it's just a little, about $40-something as a clusterian, and you will be able to do a UK diploma course that costs almost $300. And as a vendor that I want to sell in the community is about $50-something, $57, and you will be able to do a UK diploma course on data analysis, cybersecurity, certified nursing assistant, mini MBA, a short course that can give you opportunity to work online. So that is what the community is all about. We do training, we meet every day from Monday, from the mind surgery revolution to the survival strategies in the new normal, every Monday, 2 times. And on every Tuesday, we meet and we discuss humanity revolution, 5 p.m. Don't miss any one of these meetings. Every Wednesday, we discuss genuine love revolution. Every Thursday, we have 3 meetings. We do Project ARE from 12 to 1, and we do B2B network from 2 to 3. It's a no-brainer. Don't miss it. You understand? And then we bring it's like an international conference where everybody pitch their business. What is the business in your community? Come and pitch it. What are you known for? So that people from other communities can connect with you. Then in the evening, we do accurate connection revolution. A lot of youth believe what they need is cash, but they don't know that credibility is a better money than cash. Credible relationship is a better money than cash. Sincerity, integrity, competence, spending your time in a good place like this is a better money than cash. And on every Friday, we go on certificate revolution of the global cluster. If you check my profile, you see some of the highlights of all of these meetings that we have been doing. And if you go on YouTube on the global clusters, and if you research the global cluster Spark Up, you will see a lot of write-up where AI will tell you what we have been doing. Then every Saturday like this, we talk about security in the morning. Retired Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin is always there to, a retired British colonel. And then in the evening, we're going to talk about accurate knowledge and information, 5 p.m. West African time. We're going to meet again, and we're going to talk about accurate knowledge and information. Then tomorrow, being Sunday, we're going to talk about people-to-people revolution by 5 p.m. West African time. So don't miss any of the meeting. It will help to build you. This is the first platform, University of Knowledge, Information, and Connection. So if we meet in the evening again, I want to give the baton to the 001 Global Security Cluster of the Global Cluster, just to give its finishing note. Over to you,
Well,
sir.
thank you, Your Excellency. All I want to say is this, right? Today has been another revelation, and
Yeah.
the message that I have for everyone today is this: just be passionate about what you do, stand on your beliefs, believe in yourself, and be very confident, right? Because having all the Indians, if I, right, and I can speak in every language, I can interpret it, I know everything, but I've got no.
Network. That is a network glitch, and it's because he's on transit right now.
No love, then I am nothing. Confidence, then your qualifications are just paper. We have to believe. You know, you can have all the qualifications in the world, but paper. It means your qualifications are just paper. You have to believe in what you do, right? The global clusters is here. We have mentors. We have people with experience. We have people to help. We have ears to listen to, right? If you've got anything that you're not sure about, contact one of the 001s or one of the 002s or His Excellency, right? My door's always open. Let's talk. Let's build. Let's do this. This is the second year. This is the year that I call pulling your brother up, right? Let's pull each other up. Reach out and touch somebody's hand, and let's make this world a better place. My name is Michael Gbenga Oshin, retired British Army, 001 Global Security Clusters, and CEO of Clear Cross Group Global. Thank you very much for coming again today. You know, it makes me so happy. It makes me so proud to be a member of the Global Clusters. And I'm hoping that you guys will all get out of it what I'm getting out of it. And you know what? Tomorrow, next day, the future is very, very bright. Let's just stay on our faith. You know, let's stay on our beliefs. Let's stand on our faith and leave the rest to God. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, over to you.
Wow, that is the voice of the 001 Global Security Cluster of the Global Cluster. And you can see the energy, you can see the resilience, you can see how he's giving it out to us. So don't miss next week, Saturday. Every Saturday we meet and, you know, we discuss security. And I believe we have all learned something today. Let's go and use it to teach someone around us. Thank you very much. God bless you. Till we meet in the evening again. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye. Let's connect on the sparkops.org. Let's connect on the sparkops.org. Let's connect. Let's connect. Let's connect. Orange Palm, let's connect on the sparkops.org. I want you to join the ARA. Let's connect immediately. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.